restaurant there called the Liberty House, so we have a regular Thursday as well. And the first Sunday of every month, I have jazz concerts, as well as some other things I'm doing around Jersey and working around New York, doing things for Jazz Mobile.
Do you have a family? Do you have married and have kids?
Yeah.
How old are the kids?
Huh?
How old are the children?
Oh, man, all ages.
Are they?
You name it, I have it. I have a lot of kids. You know?
Oh, do you?
I have a lot of kids. I have 5 grandkids.
Oh, you do? Oh, good. Yeah, me too. I've got grandkids too. I just had a great grandson last year.
I haven't got to that point
Well,
yet.
I know. I told you my son's the same age as you. Well, on your kids, are there? You see any music coming out like you of your family?
I have a couple of them, and they're into different things. I have a couple of them, of course, they're into rap. I have a daughter who's singing, and she goes to the jazz camps with me. She's 12, and she does a couple of jazz camps. She takes lessons with Sheila Jordan from time to time, and Marion.
Does she do gospel too?
Oh no, it's pretty much right now. All the thing she knows is jazz and maybe a little bit of R&B.
Well,
jazz, I think, because she grew up around it.
What do you think about where do you think jazz is going now compared to 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago? You think there are changes coming in it? Is it getting more mainstream or less from your point of view?
I mean, that's a good question, and I'm not sure if the answer is in on it yet because we're seeing so many things falling by the wayside. So there needs to be a resurgence, and that's what we're hoping. There needs to be a resurgence of the music and the culture, because now there's less places to play. All the musicians, myself and all the other guys, my associates, we have this discussion all the time. Is that when we were coming along, there were more places to play.
Oh, there were. So it's less now.
And it was less for the guys before us. But now, I mean, I was just telling Clifford Murphy, who was here.
Yeah,
when I used to come this way and play, I would bring my band. We would drive. We would leave New York. We knew we could play in Toledo. We could play in Cleveland. We play in Detroit,
Chicago,
and then we go do our week in Chicago, and then and then go back home. All those things are gone. The only thing we still play Chicago, but everything else is kind of shaky.
So how about? Well, right, there really aren't that many jazz radio stations anymore.
Right.
I mean, there's some soft jazz out there, but that's really not going back to the Clifford Murphy roots, I would think.
Right.
Okay, hey, we can wrap this up now. Can you think of anything else that I forgot that you'd like to tell people if you never had a chance, like 100 years from now, people look back at this and say, Winard, what's it all about?
I would always like to tell people how very special and powerful and important this music is, and that we all need to support it and help to get it out here. I always tell people too to bring your children, bring some young people to experience the music, to experience live entertainment. One thing for sure, you pass the music on that way, and they can be future fans for the music. Also, they learn how to come out and go out. It'll be their first time, experiencing nightlife or a club or a concert, and then they know how to act. But the music is too important for us to let it waver and for us to lose radio stations, for us to lose.
Right, the world is owned by Clear Channel and Cumulus in the broadcasting world, and they tend to want to have a lot of talk radio, or if it's not talk, they want to influence people, but it seems like they want to influence people politically rather than musically.
And see, the thing about this music has always been full of love, compassion. When you talk about integration, I don't know anything that has come before the music.
That's right.
Not too long ago, I took my kids to see the Jackie Robinson movie, and as I'm sitting there watching,
I didn't see that. Was that pretty good?
Very good. I liked it. But as I'm sitting there watching the movie, I was thinking, jazz. All those guys that I idolized, were my heroes. They were doing this well before them. When you go back and look at Louis Armstrong, and, all of those guys that were working and where the integration was happening, where people were coming up and crossing town to listen to the music, to do the dance. Where the jazz musicians were going over to Europe, introducing, the world to jazz, and they were becoming fans and fond of it. And then, it's always been there. So this music is very, very special, very important.
Right. I do too. I think it's can change society, and we need a lot more of it.
Right. Because it breeds good thinking and creativity.
Oh, that's a good idea. Good thinking and creativity too, and it does. Young people especially. Do you get to work with young people anymore?
Very much. I mean, because I do a lot of the jazz camps.
Mm-hmm.
I also have in the past 5 years, I've had a contract with the city of Jersey City, where we go in and we play the public schools. So we would go in. We do like sometimes 2 schools a day. We come in, play some music for the kids, let them ask questions.
Mm-hmm. Do you let them? Do they get to play anything?
Sometimes if that particular school has a school band and has some students, they've been working on some things, we invite them up to come and play or to come and sing, with the band. Because you'd be surprised at how many schools now do not have bands, so the kids don't see real instruments.
Right, and when they do have band, it's for the football team and not all the time.
Schools, I'm talking about, when we talking about some of the public schools, some of them don't even have football teams anymore. So. For them to see real instruments, to see an upright bass, see the saxophone and the trombone, that's a rarity.
Oh, right. Right.
So we come in and we play for them. The guys talk to them about the instruments, but we also relate it to the academics, where we can say, how science is involved, where the guys talk to them about the way the instrument makes it sound, the vibrations and what I have to do to get a sound out. I have to put air through the mouthpiece and then the mouth, and then I attach that to the horn, and then when I,
breath control.
When the breath goes into it, the vibrations. So we hook it up with the science, and and math. How math is involved in reading, history, because we start, we let the kids ask us questions. We talk about our travels around the world, going to different countries, and how that, when they pay attention in school, all of this can come into play in their lives as they get older. Because when we were in school, we didn't think, okay, I might be in Germany one day, I might be sitting in France. So then when you pay attention, you study the history, when you get to these places, then you have a better idea of where you are and what's going on.
And let's say we're talking to people 100 years from now. What do you think we would say to them about what you're doing and about the music, and maybe not where it will be, but they might want to know, well, what was life like back then? Can you think of anything? I mean, this is kind of a hard question, but you ever thought about what you'd like to say to people 100 years from now or 50 years from now after we're gone?
Well, for me, I would like to feel like, and I think that what I'm doing, I'm taking something that God has blessed me with, which is a musical talent, and I'm using that to serve God and serve humanity. Because by serving humanity, you serve God. So I would say that, especially with all the jazz musicians, that's what all my heroes have always done, serving humanity. Those guys that came out here and could play for anybody and everybody, even if after they got off the bandstand they had to go out the back door or couldn't eat in the same places or use the same bathroom. That never stopped them from getting on the bandstand, playing the same way for everybody, playing their hearts out and just trying to bridge gaps.
You are looking at you here. You're really a charismatic guy. It reminds me of looking at your something on an album cover or something from you, a photograph of you, and saying, "Well, yeah, this is really not that you're a hero, but you're someone that has influenced my life in a nice way musically, and it's really a joy to hear you tonight, and a joy to talk to you." I can't really think of anything else. It's been a great night. Thanks for traveling here, and drumming is probably one of the hardest jobs in a band. It's the most workout, and it takes the most out of you.
Yeah, it can be, but when you love it, it takes care of a lot of things. But y'all here in Toledo help keep this music going, help keep places open that we can come to.
Well, what I'm doing is I am documenting all of the jazz on the Maumee and all of the the Art Tatum there are, I've got about maybe 70 videos. You've got a card on YouTube right now. And I do the same thing that you do. I don't monetize it. I do it as a community service to let people see who don't have the money or maybe are handicapped or don't even have a vehicle and can't get here, and to see what's happening. And then again, for people years from now to look back and say, well, what was jazz like in the Midwest, and who was there and who was part of it? And you're part of it. What a great ambassador to jazz you are. Well, thank you very much for all your time and everything. Okay. Give me a hand, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.